The countdown is on. Hi, I'm Ginny Alexander, and I'm here today with my friend Tony Palmisano from St. Alfio's, and we are going to talk about the upcoming 93rd Feast of the Three Saints. I can't wait. It's an exciting weekend, and Tony's going to tell us all about it.
Well, first of all, Ginny, I want to say thank you and Lawrence Cable Access TV for giving us the opportunity to talk about our feast and also the great partnership that we've had with you guys over the past years. So you're sort of an institution. You come and you're always there, especially with all the entertainment. And then for those folks that live in the community that can't get out to the feast, they get a chance to participate and can watch all the great activities for the concerts as well as the Torchlight Parade and also the procession on Sunday. So again, thank you and to your staff for being a good partner with us. So on that note, yeah, it's feast time, 93rd annual feast. We're pretty excited this year. We have a couple interesting things going on that are get a little different, so maybe I'll just jump into that.
Okay.
So again, Labor Day weekend is the feast. So Friday night, September 2nd, we'll start off with the parade, which starts off in front of City Hall.
Right.
And then we have some activities, and then our main entertainment, and as I was telling you before we went on air, I'm actually directly involved in sort of finding this act, and I don't remember them, but you recall they were here a couple years ago on, I'll say, a lesser stage. But this year, Gian Ferrone and his big band is going to be coming and performing on the main bandstand Friday night. And where this is the 100th anniversary of Frank Sinatra, they're going to be doing a Frank Sinatra show. And personally, I'm very excited because I'm a big Frank Sinatra fan. So I expect it to be a tremendous show. Again, all the entertainment, everything's free here at the feast. So that will be Friday night. We got Gian Ferrone and his big band coming, and that will be the highlight of Friday night's entertainment. And then on Saturday, we can talk about all the other activities, but there's something a little bit different happening this year, and it's happening in the Italian cultural tent area underneath the tent in the parking lot at Holy Rosary, and I'm calling it the Taste of Italy. So the idea is we are going out and we're securing, and we already have some vendors, and I'll tell you who they are, to do a little taste of Italy. And what that really means is they're going to be doing food demonstrations, and as you know, being Italian, we all like food, good food.
Anybody likes food.
That's true. That is true. And so from 3 to 6 on Saturday, and this may also, depending on the number of vendors that we get and the interest, we may also do it on Sunday. But right now, on Saturday, 3 to 6, we have what I'm calling the Taste of Italy. So what does that mean? That means that we've reached out to people like Tuscan Market, and the Tuscan Market who was also sponsored, but they're coming. They're going to be doing a homemade pasta demonstration. So they'll be showing people how to make homemade pasta, and then there'll be some tasting. We have a company out of Amesbury, Mass. called Wolf Meadow Farm, and they make artisanal cheeses. So they're going to be coming, and they're going to be making fresh mozzarella and regatta, and they'll be doing some tastings. Peter Messina, our friend Peter Messina from the Italian Kitchen, he's going to be doing a sausage demonstration. How to make Italian sausages, so forth and so on. And then the fourth one is a company that I'm familiar with. He's a friend of mine. His name is Carmine Manganelli, who is from Medford. And he owns a high-end Italian olive oil balsamic vinegar company called La Fama. And he sells to all of the high-end restaurants. And his product is phenomenal. He has probably 6 or 8 flavored oils, and it's all organic. And he'll be doing a presentation on the oils, where they're from, how they're processed, and then tasting. And he also has balsamic vinegars. So I'm personally very excited because I think it's a little bit different than some of the things we've done in the past. Yeah. And I think you need to just kind of like add in different elements to keep it fresh. And like I said, the response so far to the vendors has been very positive. And we've got 3 or 4 other vendors that are potentially. So in order to do the presentation properly, you probably can maybe do 4 in that time period. So if we wind up getting 6 or 8, we'll probably do something on Sunday. But all this information will be available on the website. But as I said, it didn't make the poster because it just happened the last few weeks. But it will be on there, and we're calling it the Taste of Italy. So I'm hoping to promote it, obviously with this venue through the television and cable access, and then through some of the print ads we'll be doing down the road. So that's that. So all the traditional stuff is still happening. We'll be doing the Torchlight Parade on Saturday night. I know you and your crew come down and you film it, and I know you put it on.
We try.
You try.
Sometimes it's difficult
It's
because we like
challenging.
to get up high to get it,
Yeah.
and oftentimes we just can't
Yeah.
get high. And I know I did it one time right
Ground
at the level.
It was hard.
I
It's
thought
hard.
I was going to be suffocated.
Yeah. People don't realize
was
when you're down
awful.
there with all of the torches, it can be it can be challenging from a respiratory point of
Yes,
view. Yeah,
yes,
it can
for
be,
sure.
It can be challenging, but we can always get you inside Gino's building, Napoli's Pizza, and you can shoot down there. I know the people. I
If
know.
that can be done, that would
Yeah.
be wonderful.
In fact, I've got to talk to Gino about something else. I'll talk to him about that because you can get up there and do some filming. That will help you. And then obviously, Sunday, the day for the members, the procession at 3 o'clock, and we have the 2 bands coming back again. I don't know if we'll ever go back to having just the one band. We like it. It also is good for the one band to have another band.
I thought they had 3 at one time.
We did have 3 a couple years ago, but this year we're going back to the 2 bands. I don't think we'll ever go back to the one band. So this year we have the St. Alfio's band, which is the traditional band, and then we also have Our Lady of Angels, which is going to make their 3rd consecutive appearance. Last
Is
year
that
we
the
had
Portuguese band?
that's the Portuguese band from New Bedford, and last year I think we had the 3 bands. We had a conflict, and then we got all 3
can't
bands.
remember.
But yeah, so we'll have the 2 bands. What will be fun, and some of the tradition will stay, and. What else can I tell you about anything that's special or unique this year? Well, it's always unique because we always do something a little
Absolutely.
bit different. But yeah, this year we have the Taste of Italy, and then, this is also the 3rd year for the road race, so I should talk about the road race.
Oh, yeah.
So the road race will be again on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. It will start at the front of Holy Rosary Church, and again it's called the Run for Scholars, and the money that we raise for the Run for Scholars will go to scholarships. And this past year, I want to say there were 5 scholarships that were given out to local high schools for their college underwriting. And I think that's something that is important to the organization. And again, I've been involved in that for probably 15 years, and I don't see that as something that will ever not be part of what our mission statement is in terms of giving back. We give money to other nonprofits, but I think the scholarship thing is important, and so we're hoping to fund it with some of the proceeds from that, and that's a good thing. So
You had a good turnout for that last year, didn't you?
yeah,
For the first year.
last year was the second year.
That was the second?
Second year,
I don't
right.
even remember.
So the numbers are pretty steady. It's challenging. I think I've put on road races in the past for Elder Services, and I've been involved in some road races. Road racing is challenging to get a new event. I think the calendars are pretty chock full of road races. It's obviously a big holiday weekend, so people are away. But it is a certified race, so if you're a real serious runner, you can come. Your time will be certified. So we have Yankee timing. So from that perspective, it's a legit road race, right? But I think the weekend, because it is a Labor Day weekend, and I think it's challenging for people who might be away.
It's the last weekend to get away.
Exactly. So that could be challenging, but we've been working with the Merrimack Valley Striders and trying to get their membership involved. We've been working with New Balance to try to outreach to members that are part of the New Balance Running Club. So I think we're doing all the right things. But if you have a few hundred runners, is it ever going to be the Boston Marathon? No, but we're not looking at it to be that. But I think if it could just grow, and it's like anything, I've participated in road races, and there is a dynamic when you're running with a group of people, that kind of carries you. So it's exciting. So you don't want to have a road race where there's 20 people. It just doesn't, you're right. So if you get 300, 400, 500 people, it's exciting because now you're running with other people and you have a shared experience. And I think that's part of the excitement of the road race. So yes, the goal is to have, more runners. But I think last year, I think we were at a point where it was, we were able to give people that experience. And then if you're not a runner but you want to come and walk, you can come with your family, you can walk with your family, we have that as well. So again, the road race and all the information for anyone to register is online, so I would recommend you go to our website, which is the 3, not the letter, but the word 3saintsinc.org. So that's our website. So the scheduled events will be on there. The road race registration information will be on there. And if you have any questions, there's an opportunity to go and ask questions, and then somebody from the organization will get back to you. But again, that's 3, the words.
The word, yeah.
3saintsinc.org.
We'll put that up at the end of the program.
That'd be fantastic.
Anyway.
That'd be fantastic. So I'm looking at the poster. So the first thing that hits me is this photo. So do you want to take a guess what year that photo was taken?
1950.
Okay, well, it's old. It's older than that, though. This is actually 1925.
Wow.
Yeah, this was the third feast.
Wow.
Right, 1925. In fact, this will be the cover of our program book, which will be coming out in the next week or so. So I want to thank all the people that participated in our program book, because that's one of our major fundraisers. But this year, there's some sponsors I probably should mention, because the sponsors are really important to help us underwrite the cost of this little business now that we call St. Alpha Society. So Tuscan Market's there, Jackson Lumber, Costa Eagle, Market Basket, Catadella, Greg from the North End Deli, our friends at JG's, and obviously Tripoli's. And we did get another grant from the Lawrence Cultural Council, so I want to thank those folks for helping support this year's feast. And obviously, the City of Lawrence, who is a great sponsor and more than a sponsor, more than really a partner. Because if we didn't get the support from the city, it would be very, very difficult for us to run the feast. As you know, someone who's been there for many years and supports us. Again, the city is just a great partner. Fire and police and DPW help us put on this tremendous event. So. You have any questions for us this year? Anything going on?
So for people that may not have been to the feast before, and I find that hard to believe, but you've got the main stage, which is at the end of
Union and Common Street.
Okay.
And then we have a second stage, and we call that,
yes,
thank you, we call that the Tripoli stage. So that started, I don't know, 6 or 8 years ago. And so what we decided to do is we wanted to do two things. We wanted to be able to balance the street off with entertainment, because on Friday and Saturday nights, it gets really crowded on that end of the street, which is great. I mean, it's great because, again, there's a dynamic when you have a big crowd of people that's being entertained. But then we also wanted to have some diversity of music. Mm-hmm. And I'm a big fan of that, and I'll go off on a quick tangent in a moment. But yes, we have the Tripoli stage, and so if we have Italian music or Sinatra or something similar kind of music on that end, then we try to balance it with other ends, because we want to be able to appeal to different kind of audiences and different families. And again, the demographics in Lawrence have changed very, very. Even in the last 25 years I've been a member. So, and I feel like we're our society buildings at 20 Common Street, but the vast majority of the membership, we may have been brought up in Lawrence, we may have been brought up in Methuen, but very few of us live in the community. So I feel like we're neighbors, right? So we come to Lawrence. We love the City of Lawrence. We support the Holy Rosary Church, Corpus Christi Parish, but for the vast majority of us, we're here for 3 days. Yeah. and we're just stewards of this great organization, but we're not residents anymore. So I feel like we need to be really good neighbors. So what does that mean? That means, we should have other kinds of ethnicities. We should have Latin music, salsa music. We should have different kinds of foods, because the people who live in those communities, they should be welcomed. Because at the end of the day, what is the society about? Okay, it's about Italian American heritage, but it's really about faith and family. And I think everyone who lives in the community can look at those elements and say, yeah, okay, I'm not Italian American, but it's not just because you're Italian American you should come to the feast. You should come because you have faith, you believe in family values, and so I think we should, and I believe that with my heart, that we should open this up to every community, and anyone who comes to Lawrence or lives in Lawrence should be welcome to our feast, because it's not just about being Italian.
No, but you do get a wide diversity of people.
Yes.
Here. I've noticed every year that, there are
Right.
tons of people.
Right, and I feel the same way about the Mahjong. I'm not Lebanese American, but I appreciate the culture, because again, it's about their faith, their traditions, and about their family values. And I always try to make at some point over the weekend, I make my way over to St. Joseph's and participate in that. I mean, now that it's back there, it's a lot easier than when it was over at the West Methuen at the cemetery. They would have their event there for years, but now it's there. So again, I think we're all good neighbors and stewards of this tradition, but we're in a community that has drastically changed, which is fine, and I think everyone should be invited. I mean, I would hope when I see folks, I say, come to the feast. You don't have to be Italian. You can be pretend to be Italian for the weekend. It's like St. Patrick's
for
Day.
everybody.
Exactly. It's like
for
St.
everybody.
Patrick's Day weekend. I mean, I wear green on St. Patrick's Day, and that's probably the only day of the year I wear green. But I participate in St. Patrick's Day, and I drink the green beer. And same thing. Come to the feast and enjoy it. It's family. It's about bringing your families out and and believing what family values and believing about faith, and everyone, and you don't have to even be Catholic. I think you just have to believe that that there's a power that cares about you in the world, and it's going to protect you in the world, and it gives you some sort of base, some spiritual base. So
Well, it's very important.
yeah, and I think it's becoming more and more important in this world that things are fractured. I mean, it wasn't that long ago where Sunday, just having Sunday meals was big, and now we're all scattered.
I don't think anybody does that. I remember growing up, and
my
my mother
God.
at 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
we had,
1 o'clock.
and they'd cook the roast that
Yeah.
would last for the rest of the week.
Yeah, and so it's funny, and so I'll just take a step back. So when we were talking about, and you've seen the evolution of the feast, right? Things we've tried, things we haven't tried, things that have stuck, right? So when we started putting the cultural tent up in the parking lot, and then we put up the other tents where people have a gathering place, that was replacing all of the people who used to live on Common and Essex and Union Street, and they would go home and have their pasta and then come back for 2:30 to get ready for the procession. And then what we came to find out is people don't do that anymore. They just don't have those homes. They don't live there.
Yeah, it's true.
So this was a gathering place. So having the cultural tent and the cafe basically was say, okay, so we'll go get some food on the street, and we'll meet at 1 o'clock, 1:30 on Sunday. I'll meet you there, or it's 8 o'clock Saturday night. After the Torchlight Parade, we'll come. We'll have coffee and pastry, and that will be our gathering spot. So that's how that whole cafe idea was born. It said we need a meeting place where people can say, hey, we can meet. We'll have tables and chairs, and we'll replace the old, third floor tenement buildings where Grandma used to live. We'll go there, and that's how that sort of came about, and the traditions kept, and it's become very popular, and I'm very proud of that, because you may not know the history behind it, but that was really the history behind why we even did that, because we wanted to have a place where people could meet and they could gather and they could bring their families together, and you'll see that, and you'll walk through Saturday night, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 9:30 after the Torchlight Parade. Members will come down there and they'll have their families, and you'll see a table, and it's the Messina family, or it's the Teresi family, or it's the Laspina family, or it's the Di Fiore family. and they'll have 15, 20 of their family members, and they'll be sitting there and they'll be enjoying themselves. And same thing happens. I believe this because it happens in my own family. It happens Sunday afternoon. It happens especially Sunday night when we all go in, and after the Vada's been put away, you go back there and you'll see all these tables full of people, and it's their families.
Yeah.
And it's it could be David Bain, or it could be the Marianos, or it could be like I said, the Zappalas, but it's a meeting place, and it's good. It's good to see that. So the last thing I want to talk about is working with the Eagle Tribune on some storyline ideas, and we've had some really great stories about the feast and promoting the feast and what we do. So this year we're talking about the tradition about why St. Alfeo, because a lot of organizations are having difficult times with membership, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about people being stretched in many different directions, and so we're not a real social organization. Like, we don't have a clubhouse, we don't have a bar, we don't do a lot of social things. What's the appeal? And the appeal has been, over the last probably 10 or 20 years, why membership has grown is because we want to perpetuate the things that are important to us, right? So it's our family values, it's our Italian American culture, it's our faith. And so this year we have 3 members coming in, and they are all they're all sons or grandsons of members. So we have from Methuen, we have John Doobie, who's a longstanding member, and his son James, who turned 18. He's coming into the organization. So we have Bobby Folletti from Methuen, his nephew Stanley, he's coming into the organization, and then my son Sam, so my second son, so my son Matthew's a member, he's 23. So my son Sam is turning 18, and he'll become a member. So we have those.
Awesome.
We have those 3 members coming in, and so this year we are now going to have 171 members.
That's really
The
good.
most we've ever had.
That's really good.
Yeah. So it's in it grows every year 6 or 8 members. We have some members that pass away, obviously, but so we have young blood coming in to help support, to carry on the things we talked about. So hopefully we have another 93 years in us in the city of Lawrence.
Well, I hope I'm not around another 93.
I don't know. I don't think I'll be around another 93, but I hope to be. I hope
For the
you're-
100th.
Yes,
Yeah, for
yes,
the
7
100th
years.
at least.
And that's a great segue, because no one wants to talk about the 100th, which is in 7 years, because you never want to say next year's get. But there is also talk
be old.
about the 100th, and. You'll appreciate this because you've been involved with us for a while. So there is talk about doing another major concert on the Common.
Oh, that's my favorite.
I know.
Bring Michael Amante back.
Yeah, we all.
My plug for Michael.
I know. Well, we'll be soliciting suggestions
Although I like
from the
Aaron
community.
Caruso, too.
Aaron Caruso is excellent
He was
too.
a cutie.
What about if we do again? It's the 100th. Maybe we do 2. Right? We bring back Michael Amante and Aaron Caruso.
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be tremendous?
Yeah, it would be standing room only.
Right.
And put Tony Pace in there too, and that'll just round
Yeah, oh
everything
my God,
right
round
out.
it all out.
He was
yeah.
hysterical.
He's very entertaining. So yeah, we because again, I'll be frank, because of funding and because of
Yeah.
resources, it's been very difficult. I mean, the concert on the Common is a tremendous event, but it takes a lot of resources and it takes a lot of money, and so we've pulled back and we've done some other things. But I think for the 100th, I think it may not be a bad idea to have a big blowout celebration.
Well, that sounds exciting.
That would be exciting, wouldn't it? But this year's going to be exciting too.
Every year is exciting. On that note, we've kind of run out of time.
Right.
But please go to their website, the
3 Saints,
THREE,
saintsinc.org.
.org.
And all the information about the weekend activities will be on there. And again, I want to thank you and your staff, Jenny, for being great partners with us. And really, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you and the City of Lawrence, because we could not do this. We honestly could not do this with all of what entails now to run an event where you've got 70, 80,000 people come over a 3-day weekend. And again, if you've never been to the feast, please come out. Everything's free parking. None of the events cost anything, and just participate. And again, you don't have to be Italian for the weekend. Just come out and help celebrate, your faith or your family values, because those are the things we try to instill. Because I think that's the core mission of St. Alf Society. So again, thank you I'll look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks, and we'll kick off on Friday night, September 2nd.
Sounds good to me. And I look forward to seeing all of you. You'll see me. I'll be in front of the big stage behind a camera. Until then,
Buona festa.
buona festa.
Granada, tierra soñada por mí, mi cantar se vuelve gitano cuando es para ti. Mi cantar hecho de fantasía, mi cantar flor de melancolía, que